faculties to participate, and most of them, of course, will participate online. So because this is a hybrid type of meeting, so people can participate in person and they can also participate online. And we have formulated the scientific program, keeping all the aspects of the cardiovascular science, starting from the clinical, intervention, imaging, digital technology, because you all know the government of India is now promoting more application of the digital technology for the healthcare, so that we can serve the rural people by the help of the digital technology. And that is why artificial intelligence and other digital technological techniques have been adopted into the scientific agenda. And I was told that almost 1,200 delegates will participate in person in this meeting, as I was told by the organizing secretary, Dr. R.K. Jain. And we will have good number of industries to have their stalls, both in the virtual as well as physical stalls. We will inaugurate an update cardiology book, which is the main book of this conference, that is 2021 CSI Update Cardiology book, will be inaugurated tomorrow at around 11 a.m. in the inaugural function. And we'll have 3.5 days session of scientific program starting from 1 o'clock till 10 p.m. And most of the international faculties will speak in the evening to match with their time in the respective countries. And there will be workshop on the day one on the different aspects of the cardiology, starting from clinical, echo and imaging, interventional cardiology, electrophysiology, and there will be also a PG track program. The main chief coordinator is Dr. V. Dayasagar Rao, and we will have orations. There are many important orations in this meeting, and one of these very important oration is Dr. B.C. Rai oration, which will be delivered by the director of ICMR at present, Government of India, Dr. Balaram Bhargav, and there will be other orations which will be delivered by our all stalwarts, national stalwarts, and there will be also debate session, and there will be also very interactive session. So I hope it will be a very, very important scientific program which will help to improve the knowledge of the cardiologists across the country for the application in clinical management as well as interventional technique. And we are also promoting for Made in India technology more and more in this country, so that the prices of the device come down and the people poorest to reach, everybody can afford this kind of device management of the different cardiac diseases.
As you all know, we have two important issues that India is facing now. One is to extend proper health care to people, all the people, even those who are living in distal rural areas. As you all know, if you have a heart attack, you need to seek hospital treatment, hospital care within 3 hours. But the reality is that those who are living in rural areas, we have done a registry a few years back, and we have found that unfortunately the average time to come to the hospital from a distant rural area is 60 hours. So forget about 3 hours, it's 60 hours. Second thing, as you all know, treating a cardiovascular disease is costly. It's cost you more than $1 lakh. Though we have in place several government schemes for helping out the patients, but still, most of our patients, almost 60% of our patients, they have to pay out of their pocket. So the best way is to prevent. Now, unfortunately, according to our latest data, only 30% of the population is aware of this danger, of the risk factors, that they need to do something to reduce their risk. Only 30%. Those who are aware, only 30% are following the proper advice, how to get it reduced. And those who are following the advice, only 30% are achieving actual control. You can well imagine what is the state of affair now in the country. So as a society, we think that we have a duty to extend proper health care to the underprivileged people of the country. And there are several ways, and I have attended a recent seminar that was conducted by Lancet in association with Financial Times London, Artificial Intelligence to Extend Universal Health Care, and it is mainly targeted at the youth population. And you know this is very relevant for India. Why? Because we have the highest number of youth population in the world. So And why artificial intelligence? Because you see, India is a big country. It's a big geography. And the reach, we are not that solvent that we can extend actual healthcare providers. And on the other hand, as the recent data goes, there is a very good penetration of mobile phones all across the country, mainly the Android platform. So I thought it might be a good idea to take a cue from the Lancet Financial Times Global Commission and to think whether we can apply some basic artificial intelligence for, number one, collecting our data about high blood pressure, data about high blood sugar, data about high cholesterol, data about tobacco abuse. So if you plan to combat a disease, the first thing you should do, you should have a database. You should know how many percentage of your population are suffering from high blood pressure, how many are suffering from high blood sugar, high cholesterol, how many are abusing tobacco. And the second thing is to try to make them more aware, more compliant with those advices. And third, to extend healthcare. It is not always possible for a doctor who is sitting in the rural area to give in treatment of heart disease. We have some definite guidelines. But it is not possible for all the healthcare providers to stick to these guidelines and to prescribe proper medicines. Not only true for India, this is true also for developed countries like UK, where a recent registry has shown that in most of the cases, the patients or the population, they are not receiving the proper medicines as directed by the guidelines. So this is the area. That is why we are talking about artificial intelligence. The second problem is COVID. You all know, even if you recover from COVID, there can be long-term implications. There can be affection of the heart. The patient can die of they can die suddenly of a heart problem after COVID. So how do you know? How do you know whether this patient is having some form of heart ailment after COVID, after recovery from COVID? Herein comes the importance of cardiac imaging, like cardiac MR. And this is again will form a very important part of the scientific program of this conference. And third, as Dr. Jain has already stressed, that now we are having many young people who are dying of heart attacks suddenly. So what is the way to prevent them? How you are going to identify these patients? So these are the themes, main themes. And we have, apart from the Indian faculties, we have about 45 very eminent faculties from all across the world to discuss on these issues. Thank you.
Patient developed a heart attack after a heart attack first. Is it due to the vaccine or is it due to natural disease? It is difficult to say. But one of the things that really happens and has been theorized or predicted is that this COVID infection results in clot formation in both arteries and veins. So this tendency to clot may be precipitated during or soon after the infection, or sometimes it has been documented even after a vaccination. But whenever you do anything, you will have to weigh the pros and cons. That means what is the advantage, what is the benefit I am going to get from vaccination, and what is the harm I am going to have if I take a vaccination. If you compare that way, the benefit certainly outbeats the possible adverse consequences. If you say, if 100 people take it, probably 90 people will be protected from the disease. And out of the 100, probably out of the 1,000, one may develop a possible clot. This is one of the things. Is there any way of predicting who is going to get a clot? The answer is no. I think we need to understand fundamentally that COVID is a new disease. All over the world, we are learning from it. We are all exchanging the notes. So it is something like what is going to be deliberations regarding the COVID. To be honest, we know very little. Although we think that we know much, a lot of things are not known about the virus. But as things stand today, this virus involves mostly the respiratory tract. It enters to the respiratory tract. It causes initial temporary damage, in some people even permanent damage. Other organs also can be affected. For example, there are some people with COVID who present with gastrointestinal problems. abdominal pain, loose motions, and other things. There are some people who often some may present with heart problems. But it's difficult to say whether this is due to the natural history of a separate disease or is it a consequence of virus. So, as my colleagues have said, we are all learning about how it affects and how it damages, how to recognize, how to prevent, how to treat. These are all various issues and various phases of development. We think we have achieved much because we are able to prevent some infections, at least more than 70 to 80% by vaccination. And that is going to be the most important thing in preventing the occurrence of a disease. Vaccination, wearing the mask, and maintaining social distance. These three are, even though I have taken 2 doses, I still wear a mask, and we still have got a plastic cover in front of us between the patient and the doctor. We are still taking the preventive action. Although you see the advertisement that the main animal has gone out, only the tail is left. Probably even the tail can cause enough damage.
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. It's very much delightful that CSI is going to have a hybrid meeting in this challenging time of Corona. In fact, the whole idea was mooted last year when the Corona started. Just started the concept of hybrid, where both the physical presence as well as the digital presentation will be done. So it's a great occasion again that Hyderabad is holding the same format in a bigger size. Now, CSI has actually established with the main idea of updation of knowledge, and not only updation of knowledge of cardiology, but also to cater services to the people in large so that they can get affordable treatment at different places. As you know, there is a heterogeneity of the places in the whole country, some in the hills, some in the near the sea, some distant places. Many a time they cannot actually get the right kind of treatment at the right time. So that's why the focus this year has been on exponential cardiology. Actually, exponential cardiology means there will be highlight some of the aspects which are going to happen in future. For example, while you are washing your teeth in front of the mirror, then possibly you will be given a warning about your diabetes or about your coronary artery disease and all. So these kinds of things are going to happen. Now, what is my role in this conference is that I am the chairman of the fellowship committee. The fellows are the cream of the cardiologists of the country. They are selected by a credential committee and they are convocated in a very prestigious ceremony or glamorous ceremony. We call it as convocation, CSI fellowship convocation ceremony. Now there, again, the idea is that the fellows of CSI, that is FCSI, they will be not only upgrading themselves, but they will be trying to help the society, that is cardiological society, as well as the society together, so that everyone gets the benefit of the cardiological advances with all kinds of integrity in themselves.
Organizing Chairman Dasagrao has told about the various PG track program and various talks. Very important thing in this CSI, what we're going to do is we're having a very good program on artificial intelligence and how to reduce the cardiovascular burden in the country. As all of you know that the cost of the treatment in cities is very expensive and the same treatment is not available in the rural villages. So in this conference, we're having a very good, all the artificial intelligence experts in the world were meeting together, find an algorithm how to reduce the burden of cardiovascular diseases. So they are using deep neural network and getting an algorithm to predict coronary disease before it attacks the patient. This is one of the aims of the Financial Times and Lancet in 2030. We all have to progress for this. Even Niti Aayog also is trying to implement this program in India. So as a CSI body, we are planning to develop this algorithm of artificial intelligence in reducing the burden of cardiovascular diseases. And there is a seminar, and in this seminar, anybody can join without registration. It will be free of cost. And we can share the link with you, and I can share the link, and anybody can join. So this is very important for the engineers to take part in the management of healthcare. The other parts of the things are, we're also going to discuss, like as you know that there are young cardiac deaths happened in our neighboring Karnataka state. Young cinema actor died and some of the young people also died in the world. So we're going to discuss in this conference how to reduce these young sudden cardiac deaths, what are the preventive measures to be done. Other important thing is during COVID times, how to manage heart attacks. That's also going to be discussed in length in this conference. Thank you, sir.
I would like to thank all the media people who have come here, listen to what we had to say. I thank you all. The senior faculty were mentioning this conference is going to touch various aspects of cardiology, from the preventive cardiology to the most advanced kind of cardiology, including the interventional cardiology. So various levels of cardiologists in training to cardiologists who are already trained and very senior, they're all going to get a benefit by the knowledge dissemination that's going to take place. And we have exciting developments in the artificial intelligence. All that aspects would be brought into the practice and would help the society in the long run in preventing events like an acute heart attack. So this conference would pave the way for translation of that artificial intelligence and the research in the modern artificial intelligence to the general public to prevent the burden of cardiovascular disease and the mortality that happens because of this.
Thank you.